Hello and welcome to the Literature Therapy. I recently realized that I never actually explained what this channel is. I just appeared online one day talking about books, journaling, emotional patterns in literature, and suddenly people were here. Which honestly still surprises me a little because for a very long time, most of this existed entirely inside notebooks and half finished documents on my laptop. So this feels overdue. But first, let me tell you about something else I probably should have mentioned earlier. A few months ago, I started a Patreon. Not because I had some grand business plan, mostly because I kept finding myself wanting to say, well, it's a little more complicated than that. And then remembering YouTube videos cannot be 3 hours long. So Patreon became the place for all the things that don't fit here. Longer essays, deeper discussions, reading lists, extended journaling prompts, case studies, the occasional literary rabbit hole that only 5 people on earth care about, including me. And hopefully very soon, personalized book recommendations as well. If you enjoyed the channel and want more of the reading and writing side of things, you might find something useful there. Every member also gets a beginner-friendly 30-day journaling prompt book because starting is difficult, continuing is difficult, and apparently being a human being is difficult. Nobody really explains this when you're younger. Anyway, if you're interested, the link is in the description below. And before I forget, there is another surprise waiting for you at the end of the video, so do stick around. Now the channel introduction, which is long overdue. I'm a certified bibliotherapist. I have degrees in literature and gender studies, which sounds very organized and respectable until I tell you that a significant portion of my adult life has been spent carrying books around without reading them because my brain was too tired to observe a paragraph properly. That too is part of the reading life, unfortunately. And for the last few years, especially, writing became difficult in a very uninteresting way. Not dramatic or cinematic, no tragic author staring out of rainy windows. Mostly just opening documents, looking at them for 6 seconds, and closing them again like they personally offended me. I still read constantly. I filled notebooks, but actual writing, sustained writing became harder to reach. At the beginning of this year, I made myself one small rule. Write 1 page a day. Not a book, not something publishable, 1 page. And it turned out to help more than I expected. Not because journaling magically fixes people. I want to be careful about that kind of language because the internet is already full of it. But writing 1 page a day forced me to pay attention to my own mind again, instead of constantly outrunning it with productivity systems and scrolling and pretending being busy counted as self-awareness. Unfortunately, it turns out your thoughts do continue existing even when ignored. Very inconvenient. And somewhere during these last few months, I kept thinking, there are probably a lot of people who need this kind of practice and don't have language for it yet. Which brings us to bibliotherapy. The formal definition is basically this. Bibliotherapy is the intentional use of reading and sometimes writing to support emotional health and self-understanding. That's the academic version. The word itself is older than people realize. Bibliotherapy literally translates to book healing or healing through books, from the Greek biblion meaning book and therapia meaning healing or treatment. And the idea behind it is ancient. Libraries in parts of the ancient Greek world were sometimes described as places of healing for the soul, which sounds dramatic until you remember humans have been turning to stories during difficult periods for thousands of years. We just gave the instinct a formal name later. Hospitals and clinics started using the term more formally in the early 20th century. But the actual behavior, people reaching for literature during grief, confusion, loneliness, transition, is much older than the terminology itself. But honestly, most readers are already doing this accidentally. You reread the same novel every difficult year of your life for reasons you cannot fully explain. You underline one sentence 4 separate times because apparently your subconscious thinks repetition will help. You finish reading something and suddenly need to journal because now your brain will not leave you alone. You carry around a book for emotional support and read approximately 3 pages in 2 weeks. All of that counts. Bibliotherapy is not just about books are comforting, it's paying attention to your emotional relationship with literature. Why certain books find you at a certain point in life, why one book does absolutely nothing for you at 20 and quietly destroys you at 32, why some books feel less like entertainment and more like companionship. And I think most serious readers already understand this instinctively. There are books you enjoy, and then there are books that sit beside you during particular versions of yourself. The internet now treats reading like a strange combination of productivity contest and personality branding exercise. Everybody is reading 112 books a year while maintaining color-coded tabs and morning routines elaborate enough to require project management software. Meanwhile, some of us are rereading the same novel because we are trying to survive a mildly catastrophic Wednesday. And honestly, I think that kind of reading matters more. Bibliotherapy is not about reading more. It is not about optimization. It is definitely not about becoming intellectually superior through Russian literature while secretly dissociating. And it is also not therapy. I want to say that very clearly. I'm a bibliotherapist, not a psychotherapist. Books can support people emotionally, they can help people feel recognized, less isolated, more aware of their own emotional patterns. But books are not replacement for mental health care when someone genuinely needs professional support. Books, wonderful as they are, cannot talk back. What they can do is accompany people. And companionship matters more than we sometimes admit. Especially now, when so many people are overwhelmed all the time and barely have space to think honestly about their own inner lives for longer than 30 seconds before another notification appears. Part of why I started this channel is because I wanted a slower space around reading. Not reading for aesthetics, not reading for performance, not reading to optimize yourself into becoming a more efficient worker under late capitalism, which frankly books deserve better than. Just reflective reading, careful reading, emotionally honest reading. The kind where you actually notice what a book is doing to you while you're rereading it. So, throughout July, I want to properly build the foundation of this space. We're going to talk about how bibliotherapy works in everyday life, why certain books stay with us for years, journaling, reflective reading, emotional patterns and literature, and how to build a reading life that actually feels personal instead of performative. And now for the surprise. First of all, thank you for watching all the way to the end. In the age of short form content, making it through an entire video apparently qualifies as an endurance sport. The surprise is that I have finally started a newsletter. Now, I should confess something. I'm not a content creator. I'm a reader, a writer, a bibliotherapist who somehow wandered onto the internet and started talking into a camera. Which means I know significantly more about 19th century novels than I do about algorithms. But every single time I researched how people build sustainable creative work online, I kept arriving at the same conclusion. Social media platforms come and go, algorithms change, accounts disappear, websites rise and fall. But a newsletter remains one of the few ways to stay in direct contact with readers. And since my entire reason for doing this is to build a thoughtful community about books, reading, writing, and bibliotherapy, eventually I stopped arguing with the advice and started a Substack. If YouTube is where I think out loud, Substack is where I sit down and write properly. The essays there will be slower, a little more reflective. Some topics work better on the page than they do on the video. And this gives me space to explore them without worrying about watch time, thumbnails, or whether the algorithm has decided to develop a mysterious personal grudge against me that week. The newsletter will remain completely free, and as a small thank you for joining, every subscriber receives the Literature Therapy Startup Guide. It's a short introductory ebook where I explain what bibliotherapy is, what it is not, where it comes from, how it works, and how to begin building a simple reading and writing practice of your own. I tried very hard to make it useful for ordinary readers rather than academic specialists, which means I spent an unreasonable amount of time translating perfectly respectable academic language into normal human language. So if that sounds interesting, you can find the link below. I would love to see you there. Anyway, that is probably the closest thing to a proper introduction this channel has had so far. I am so glad you're here. I'll come back tomorrow. I hope you do too.